Hey everybody, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Do me a favor before we get started. I need you to hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, I need you to do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and notification bell next to it so that you will not miss an episode. So today we're going to talk about credit scores, but we're going to come from a different perspective this time. So we're going to talk about the system and how it is used as a scam to keep you poor. Reason being is that what credit scores measure is your debt. Do you take out debt and do you pay it back? Basically, they're looking at the debt. Do you take out debt and do you pay it back? However, it has nothing to do with wealth. How much money is in your account? How many investments do you have? How many assets do you have? They want to know, do you take out debt and do you pay it back? Debt over here versus wealth over here. All right. So the thing with credit scores is that good credit is important, but did you realize that you can be poor and have a good credit score? So there are people out here that live on fixed incomes, for example, and have a great credit score, excellent credit score. Don't you find that to be interesting? So it has nothing to do with how much wealth you have. So you can be poor and have a great credit score. You can be broke and have a great credit score, right? So it's measuring your debt versus your wealth. Now, credit score is, will you pay the debt back? If you pay the debt back, you have a great credit score, all right? So credit should not be the end all be all because it's measuring your debt versus your wealth. However, credit is still important. Good credit is still important. Reason being is that if you don't have good credit, they're not giving you a loan. All right. You also get better mortgage rates, cheaper loans, cheaper financing, the better your credit score is. All right. So I guess it depends on, do you want a loan or not? Because if you don't have a good credit score, they're not giving you a loan. And that's one of the reasons why a good credit score is important. So Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, they made it a requirement that you have to have credit scores to get a mortgage. All right. There are some exceptions to this where credit is not important, and that's if you use special programs like NACA, for example. NACA doesn't care what your credit score is, they are there to help you to get a home. But generally speaking, when you're out here looking for loans, that's the first question. What's your credit score? All right. So as you know, credit score, it has several different components. They're looking at, do you pay it on time? Do you pay your bills on time? They're looking at your credit utilization. How much of the credit are you using? Are you maxing it out or are you keeping it to less than 30%? They're looking at your credit history, meaning how long do you have the credit card? So 1 year versus 9 years. That's important to them. And then new credit applications. If you're taking out too many credit applications, that's something they don't want to see. So new credit applications, and then the credit mix. Do you have different debts? Student loans, for example, car, for example. So credit mix. Those are the things that the credit companies look at to make up the credit score. All right. So they're looking at your debt. Do you pay it back? However, in order to win, the focus needs to be on building wealth. All right. So, yes, credit score is important, because they tied that to mortgages. However, the focus to win is building wealth. And how do you build wealth? You focus on things like stocks, real estate, and business. And then you start getting into what kind of business. What kind of business? Focusing on your stocks, real estate, and business. And then um, paying with cash instead of using a charge card. All right. Um, Paying with credit card is okay, but getting into the habit of paying it off every month. And that is a new habit for many because there are a lot of people that have credit card debt, but getting into the habit of paying it off every month. That way you're not paying this high interest. Um, Credit cards, some people like to use credit cards because you can get things like cash rewards, you can get travel points, things like that. But in order to win, the focus needs to be on building wealth. So at the same time, you're building your credit also, right? Reason being is that they tied this credit to mortgage. If you're interested in buying real estate, or if you want to buy anything else, like a car, for example. If your credit score is on the lower end, they're going to charge you more for that car, and it's going to be in interest. So this dual thing, you got this dual thing going on. Is your credit fine? And are you focusing on building wealth? So getting wrapped up into credit score only, that's what you don't want to do. You don't want to get wrapped up into credit score only because like I said before, there are poor people that have excellent credit scores. And that's because there was no focus on building wealth, buying assets, buying stocks, buying real estate, building a business. All right. So you got this dual thing going on. All right. And then there's a lot of other components to that also. That's not the only reason why um, people are broke. All right. As you are aware, we have a very, very long history of slavery where everything was taken, but I'm not going to get into that. We're just going to talk about what we can do from this point on. And from this point on, we can build wealth. All right. But just so that you're aware of what's going on with this whole credit score game, they're looking at debt only and they're not looking at wealth at all. All right. Just some things to keep in mind. If you like the channel, I need you to hit that like button. That helps me out. If you're not a subscriber, I need you to hit that subscribe button and notification bell next to it so that you won't miss an episode. Feel free to leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts. If you're interested in buying real estate, check out the link below. Join the waitlist for the real estate group. And if you're a man watching me, check out the hat collection that will be in the pinned link below. All right. Thank you for watching, everyone. And don't forget, on your way out, hit that like button. If you know anyone interested in improving their finances, let them know about the channel. I will be bringing people onto the show. So I interview entrepreneurs and they're going to be talking about their business ideals. So tune into the show for business ideals. I will have real estate investors but also I'm interested in people that are in different types of businesses. All right, so tune in. Thank you for watching, everyone, and I will see you on the next video.